Hi everyone, welcome back. Can't believe how many questions have come through already. So I thought let's get started on some of the questions and see what you guys want to know. Okay, so the first question is, when are you planning on flying to Africa? Now, at the moment, I don't have any plans on flying to Africa within the next year. Purely because of COVID-19 restrictions. It's really hard to get in and out of the country, especially with the new variant at the moment. So the restrictions would be really, really tight for me to get in and out of Africa. Also, flights at the moment, I'm not sponsored. So everything I'm doing on my own travelling is coming out of my own back pocket, out of my own earnings. And flights to Africa are quite expensive at the moment. So it will be a little while before I take any trips to Africa, but maybe in the next year or two, I might go off into the cities, the big cities, and maybe try out the African Airlines. Who knows? We'll just have to see what happens at that point in the future. Okay, so the next question is, how do you travel with health conditions? Now, people who know me personally know I have quite a few health problems. So yes, traveling at times can be tiring, it can be hard. It's more about learning different adaptations and learning coping mechanisms, especially if you're on a long flight. So for me, I have a condition called POTS and I have epilepsy. How I control them on long haul flights is compression socks, keeps your blood pressure up, keeps the blood where it needs to be. Drinking lots and lots of fluid, again, keeps your blood pressure up. Keeping on top of your meds and make sure you take your dosages still at the same time. So if you're due a dose while you're on the flight, make sure it's in your hand luggage and you can take it with you. Keeping up on the fluid is really, really important. I always drink about 2 to 3 litres before I get on a flight. Not great because it then means I have to use the airplane loos, which I'm sure we all know are absolutely diddy. And if you flush it while you're sat on it, not a great experience. I also try to get up as much as I can during a flight. So every half an hour I will get up, I'll walk up and down the cabin, again just to keep the blood flow, keep my blood pressure stable. But every condition is different, so have a look online, look up your condition, see if there's any condition specific advice that may help you. It's also a good idea to have a protocol on you, so if you are ill during your flight, the crew are aware that they can go into your bag and they can see the protocol, how to treat you and what to happen if you have to have an attack on the flight. So it's always good to make your crew aware of your situation. How do I get cheap flights? So I literally get cheap flights from Luck and also looking on Skyscanner. So I'm always online looking at holidays, looking at destinations, different flights, different locations. And if I happen to come across a really, really cheap flight, I'll nab it. At the moment, a lot of airlines are doing really cheap fares. So EasyJet, Ryanair, they're doing really, really low fares at the moment as part of their January sales. Skyscanner is great because you can put in your location you're departing from and where you want to go. And it'll literally give you a list from cheapest to the most expensive. Usually the cheapest way to get to location does involve layovers and stops. So if you don't mind doing the changeover on the flights, you can get flights that are a lot cheaper. So the best part of traveling is, for me personally, flying. I love the whole airport experience. I love going on a plane. I love aviation, so just being on my favourite mode of transport, I love it so much. It's also about the fact of seeing the world. Like if you're travelling, you're seeing different parts of the world, you get to meet different people, and just the whole experience is something magical, something you can't get from a 9-to-5 sit-at-home job or in a warehouse. You can't get that. You can't see the things that you can see while you're travelling. So travelling abroad and seeing the world is just an amazing, beautiful thing, and sometimes you see things that you've never seen before, and I really hope over my journey of travelling that I'm gonna see different things and learn new cultures and just explore what this world has to offer. So why did I start travelling? I started travelling because of my health issues. I was diagnosed with quite a severe condition. I'm now all good, I'm now doing okay, but it teaches you that life is too short and there's so much out there that I wanted to explore, and I just wanted to see the world, I want to see what is out there. So I decided to start traveling because I don't want to be stuck in one room. I don't want to be stuck in one place. I'm very much someone who just likes to go to different places. Screw the consequences. I'm very impulsive. I love traveling. It's just something I've always enjoyed. And like I said before, I love flying. So any chance I get to go on an airplane, I'll nab it. So that's why I started traveling, because it allows me to fly and it just allows me to explore and live out my dream. What is my dream location? So that's quite a hard one, because I do have quite a few locations that I would love to go to. I think my dream location has to be New York. That is one that I'm saving for at the moment. I would love to go to New York, see the whole city, see the 9/11 memorial. I think close behind New York is Australia. I do have family out in Australia, so it'd be great to go out there and see their way of life. But definitely New York and America, because America's just got so much history, and I think it'll be great to see what that history has to offer us today. What is the furthest I have travelled? So far the furthest I have travelled is to Crete, which is one of the Greek islands. It was a 4.5 hour flight. Loved it. Like I said, love flying. The island itself is beautiful, and I'm definitely going to be going back. So some point in the next year or two, there'll definitely be a video based on Crete and the journey to Crete, and actually the island itself. Because when I go to other countries, I think I'm going to start including parts of that journey. As you saw in my last video, I didn't really include much about Cork. Edinburgh next week, I think I'm definitely going to add some snippets of the city so you guys can get a taste, especially you guys who aren't from the UK, so you can see what Edinburgh has to offer. But definitely when I go abroad, I'm going to include more aspects of the country itself. But Crete was my longest flight, and honestly, it's a gorgeous island and I cannot wait to go back. Is there anywhere this year I really want to travel to? So yes, there are definitely a fair amount of places I'd love to travel to, but at the moment, with the way the world is working with COVID restrictions, it's really hard to get to these places. If I could just go anywhere this year, like I've said before, I think it would be New York, but I think a closer to reality financially location, I really want to go to Amsterdam this year. I've heard a lot about Amsterdam and I would just love to see what it's like. So what is the best travel insurance company to use while going abroad? Now, travel insurance is really important because a lot of countries don't have an NHS or any form of healthcare. So you don't want to be caught in an accident or having to seek some medical attention and then being lefted with a really hefty fine. So if you ever go abroad, always take travel insurance. I learned something new this week. You need travel insurance to go to Ireland. So thank God I was told, because I didn't know. So yes, always take out travel insurance. I use a company called Cedar Tree. They're really cheap, to be honest. My insurance for Ireland was only £8. My insurance when I went to Crete was only £20. Make sure you always have excess waiver so you don't have to pay money out. I always click on remove excess waiver. So what that does, it makes it so you don't have to pay out anything at all. If you don't remove that, there is a chance that even though you've got insurance, you may have to pay like €50 when you turn up at the hospital, or €150 when you turn up at the hospital, depending on what insurance you take out. Always check on your insurance the amount that's covered in medical bills as well. Okay, so what airline and what route do I really want to try out? So I really want to try out, I believe it's Qatar Airways, and I really want to try out their route from London to Australia, their non-stop route. I believe they go to Sydney, and I believe they do the route to Melbourne and to Perth as well. But it's a 17-hour flight non-stop from London to Australia. Now that I would love to experience, because no changeovers. It's really expensive, so it won't be for a very long time till I experience that. But there'll be no changeovers. You can just relax in the plane for 17 hours. I've seen other bloggers who have done that route, and it just looks like a great experience. So that's definitely something I want to try out at some point. Do I travel alone or with other people? So at the moment, I'm traveling alone. I do have some friends who obviously I meet when I get to these locations. I have a flatmate who has said that one day he might travel with me, but still taking some work in there. But no, I do a lot of my travelling on my own. It's kind of a good escape, kind of gives me some me time, which is also important. Travelling alone, yeah, you can get lonely, but it's good because you learn about different things and you meet different people, and you sometimes build great friendships that you probably wouldn't have made if you came with someone else. But yes, I would love to start travelling with someone else as well. It'd be great to have other people come travelling with me, but right now I am travelling solo. Do I travel and stay in hotels or dorms? So I personally like to stay in hotels. Dorms I don't find very comfortable. I've never tried and I don't think I ever will, purely because of fear. I just don't like the idea of sleeping in a room with 8 to 12 strangers I've never met, leaving my belongings out for them to get access to. Because unfortunately we do live in a world that's very not great when it comes to some people. So I definitely prefer a hotel. I prefer my privacy because I can do what I want. And I just feel a bit more safer. So I'm definitely a hotel girl, not a dorm girl. Window or aisle seat? Definitely the window. Hate the aisle seats. When you're sat on the aisle, it's all right. You can get up to go for a pee, but window seats, you've got that view. I mean, when you're sat on the aisle, you can't really look out the window because there's someone always there blocking it. You can't do videos. You can't really do very much in the aisle. You might get a bit of extra leg room because you can stick your leg out the side into the aisle, but no, definitely a window seat. I love window seats, and anyone who loves great views and loves flying, definitely take the window seat because you'll just get a better experience over all of your flight. What is my dream job? So my dream job was to be a pilot, but unfortunately due to health issues I can't do that. So my next step is I really want to be a cabin crew. Now at the moment I am at university. I'm studying an acting for film degree at university. So if I can't do anything aviation based, I'm looking to go into teaching and be a drama and media studies teacher. But definitely my dream job would be something in aviation or aircraft related. Okay, so what are the necessities I put in my hand luggage? So every time I fly, I always take hand luggage. In that I have documents, so boarding passes, proof of confirmations, hotel paperwork to show that you booked your hotel, insurance documents for your health insurance, passport, especially if you're going abroad, because you're not going to get anywhere without that. At the moment, because of COVID, I have my COVID passport, my proof of vaccination, passenger locator forms, because a lot of countries are asking for them. So just a load of water paperwork, passport, travel tablets if I'm getting on a coach, because I don't do well with coaches. Phone charger, definitely a phone charger, and a power bank, because phones die quick, especially when you're filming videos on them. What else do I take? Food. If it's a long flight, you might get hungry. It's also a lot cheaper than airports. Money, my purse, just basic necessities really. Anything that I wouldn't want to get lost, that could get lost if it's in your suitcase, if your suitcase goes missing, I always keep in my hand luggage. So there we go. Brilliant questions from everyone. I hope they've answered all the questions you're asking. And thank you. It's great for me to be able to do this for you guys. I'm glad people have taken interest. Keep tuned, because on Monday I am going to Edinburgh and I am flying on an Airbus A320 from Heathrow to Edinburgh with British Airways. Got the window seat. Cannot wait. And yeah, keep your eye out. That video should be out by the end of next week. But for now, take care and enjoy.